Tenía la sensación de ver una película, que ellos también tienen la sensación de estar haciendo una película. Roadkill es una road movie, una leyenda urbana, es un espectáculo basado en la historia de unos jóvenes perdidos en el desierto australiano.
Actually, when we first started looking at the piece, we started looking at film because it's one of the things that really inspires us. We played with the idea of how we can create a horror film on stage as a dance theatre piece, which is a really strange mix.
The strengths of live theatre compared to the strengths of film, and we were never actually trying to necessarily recreate a film, but to create kind of film states, I guess, would you say. So things we were using film language all the time, like a close-up, and how would you achieve a close-up when you can't bring the audience onto stage to look in the car? So we use that language and always talked about where the perspective of the camera was, actually. And our sound designer was great for that also. In every scene he would talk about, okay, in my head I think this is the longest shot, actually, this is the really long shot, or this is a super close-up.
Earlier, and Gavin and I went on a road trip, actually. We took a car and drove out to the middle of the desert. And
we didn't die.
Yeah, we kind of parked the car where you can see 360 degrees, it's completely flat, and sort of sat and watched the sun go down, and kind of had quite an amazing experience with this. At one point, feeling like we'd parked by the side of the road, and the scariest thing we could possibly imagine was that somebody would walk out of the darkness towards us.
So we spent just a lot of time just trying to scare each other. We realized we had a huge challenge in terms of how to represent that enormity on stage. This playing with kind of film as trying to represent it on stage, but to use always theatre techniques to do it, because we're not filmmakers, that it is live, and the bodies are there in front of you on stage, engaged in what is potentially dangerous physically, and that this was very important to us to represent as well, because we knew this is where live theatre certainly defeats film.
It's not often you go to see a dance show that you actually get scared by what the performers are doing.
And I think there is a mystery, basically, that we wanted to pursue, but a kind of David Lynch mystery.
At the beginning of the show, we set up something that's quite very, very simple, actually, the first kind of the section of the piece.
Yeah, and kind of naive.
Yeah, there's a naivety, you're setting up, you're kind of establishing the characters, 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 almost as if you would in a film, you're getting to know them a little bit, you're starting to care about them. But here we're dabbling in both worlds.